coming up to the podium now, we have three of the drivers that will start in the ARCA Racing Series presented by Menard Saturday, and the Lucas Oil 200 presented by MAV TV American Reel. We have a pole setter sitting in the center, Dylan Kwasniewski, Spencer Gallagher, who will start second in the Alamo Rent-A-Car Chevrolet to his right, and Chase Elliott, who will start in the top 10 as well for Saturday's race. Chase, let's start with you. You're the youngest super speedway winner in ARCA Racing Series history at Pocono last year. Talk about your lap today and this weekend and all the kind of double duties you're pulling all over the place.
Yeah, well, obviously I'm excited to be part of Speed Weeks for the first time. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's kind of a different feel to be down here and be a part of it this trip. Just glad for that side, and excited for the ARCA race too. It's going to be a busy couple weeks, and I get to have some fun tomorrow afternoon. And
your car this weekend in the ARCA garage, you have Lance McGrew, experienced crew chief Jim Long, lots of experience there with you.
Yeah, for sure. No, I feel like we'll be okay tomorrow. We were a little bit off in qualifying. I think we ended up 5th or so after a couple guys had some problems, but I feel like for the race we'll be okay. It seems to always get pretty wild in the draft, and I feel like our car will be just fine there. So I was happy with how it drove in the draft yesterday, and it's going to be what counts tomorrow.
Spencer, talk about your weekend and so far in the GMS racing car.
You know, our weekend in our GMS Alamo Rent-A-Car Chevrolet, it's been fantastic so far, which is great for me because, frankly, previously at these super speedways, we've been god-awful. But, you know, we've obviously been doing a ton of work over the winter. We've improved a great deal, and it's shown. We were fast in testing. We've been fast in practice yesterday, and, I mean, hey, off pole at Daytona, I'll take it.
You had a teammate with you this weekend, and that's something you really didn't have for a lot of last season, at least. Does that make a difference for you coming here to Daytona?
Definitely having our teammate in Scotty Sheldon definitely helped us out, especially in testing, because we were able to test a couple different things simultaneously with each car, and that really yielded a lot of valuable data that we then took back to the shop to make adjustments on. So we were pretty much operating independently when we came down here, but especially during the test, it was really a very beneficial thing to have a second guy there, definitely.
And Dylan, this is your second ARCA Racing Series presented by Menard's Race. The last one was in Kansas, the end of the season last year, and you won the pole for that one as well. That was with Venturini Motorsports. Today you're with a different team. Just how did everything come together, and talk about the ARCA race?
Yeah, I mean, it's just an honor to be here, especially on the pole. Starting in the front row of Daytona is definitely something you don't get to say that you've done that often. So. Turner Scott Motorsports, I can't thank them enough. They're obviously the ones who gave me a great car, gave me a chance to get up front and, have a good lap. But all I got to do is go out there and, go as fast as I can, and then hope we'll have a good car to get a good lap. And they obviously did a great job building one. So, I'm really excited, and definitely a good place to start. And hopefully, I can start drafting with these guys up on this table too, and we can stay up there and have a good finish.
Questions from the audience? Go ahead.
I can hear you fine, I promise.
Yeah, okay. Oh, here she comes.
This is Daytona. The race is nothing like qualifying. What do you think is the biggest thing, and maybe you don't want to talk about it, to learn to be ready to take the checkered flag first in this race?
It's tough to say, considering I haven't done any of this before. I mean, it's brand new. I'm always used to running short tracks, and I've grown up doing all that. So this is definitely a clean slate. Never done it before. So I'm looking forward to running it, and getting a lot of insight from the other drivers. That's something that's key. People that have been here before, people that have known the track. So listen to them and trying to apply what they've taught me to the race is going to be key to staying out there. But like I said, never done it before, so it's going to be all brand new, and hopefully we can, complete those laps so I can't get approved for the big-time nationwide race that we're hoping for.
I assure you, you're in the best place to learn.
Yeah, yep.
I was going to say, what are the two besides you going to tell you? This is for them to answer.
Well, I've never done it either, so I couldn't tell you. I'm just have to kind of play it by ear. I'm sure it'll be wild, and just try, like Dylan said, try to stay out of trouble.
For me, I told Dylan the other day, the biggest thing for me to conquer coming here always was just the sheer claustrophobia of the draft. That's the biggest mental hurdle you got to get through. I mean, we're all sitting out there wide open, so ultimately racing at these play tracks is a mental game, and with that kind of, anguish, if you will, bearing down on you, it's really easy to break your concentration. So for me personally, having been around these little tracks a couple times, certainly not anywhere near what the guys that were just out have done, but that was the biggest hurdle I had to overcome, was just you can't see a damn thing when you're out there and you're doing 200 miles an hour. It's a little difficult to keep your head sometimes.
It's Don Coble with Morris News Service. None of you are old enough to even rent a car yet. And
Hey, he's
25?
Surprisingly enough, for a small fee, you will be amazed how pliable certain car companies are about that.
Okay. So, but
No,
two of you have already said, I've never done anything like this before, and you're the top 3 cars in a race at Daytona.
So what you're saying is this race is going to be exciting.
Yes. How do you deal with that? I mean, is it something you all 3 think about? And I know, Chase, you've got a father you can lean back on who's done it so many times. He can do this in his sleep. So what are all 3 of your thoughts on that?
All right. Well, I mean, for me, I'm not sure. I think the biggest thing was, being able to come do both the ARCA and the nationwide tests. I feel like having those laps and those miles around people, and obviously the single car runs are pretty straightforward, but being able to draft a little bit in the ARCA test and got to do it a pretty good bit in the nationwide test, I think that's the biggest thing I can kind of lean back on. And my dad was able to help me out some in the nationwide test being here, and he was pretty aggressive with me, which was good. Which Regan was a little afraid to be aggressive with me, and he wasn't. So he kind of showed me some things that I felt like I needed to know for the race. And regardless of really other than that, I feel like just going to be a matter of taking the green flag tomorrow and trying to be around for the checkered.
Yeah, I mean, like Chase said, that Daytona test was huge. It definitely taught me, and as well as the other new drivers, a lot about how the air works, where your air is going to be. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty brand new, and you just you got to rely on everyone else telling you how you got to handle this race, and also just looking at other races in the past. I mean, obviously it's going to be way different on TV than you actually are in the car, but. Us drivers have the instinct to kind of know what we got to do in pressure situations, and you just got to hopefully trust an instinct and it won't bite you in the butt. But you just got to trust in yourself, be confident that you know what you're doing out there, and don't ever doubt yourself that you think that you're making the wrong move, because then you might put yourself in a disaster situation.
I mean, these 2 guys, obviously, they say what they say. My perspective is a little bit different. I mean, I've obviously got the benefit of experience, having done this once, twice before. I have some idea of what's about to occur tomorrow, so that definitely helps me. But frankly, I mean, in the back of your head, there's always just the same fear as ever. Anytime you strap into a race car, is that things can go wrong. You need to make quick decisions at high speeds that could seriously impact you and others. And I mean. The way I look at that, I've always, kind of thought I've the unique gift in that usually that stuff will occur to me, but by the time the visor goes down, it leaves me. And I always kind of refer to it as being too dumb to be afraid. But, I mean, in truth, it kind of is that way. That's, like I said, what I've found is when that visor goes down, all that fear, it goes somewhere. I have no idea where, but it goes somewhere.
A follow-up for Spencer. Since you've done this once or twice, do those 2 guys have any idea what they're about to get into tomorrow night?
Not in the slightest. What's up? Oh, who's going?
Jim Utter for the Charlotte Observer. For Dylan, you did the Kansas race at the end of last season, and I think finished in the top 5. Looking back, how much do you feel that helped you as far as getting ready for this season? Was it worth the time and effort?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, getting on a mile and a track or mile and a half track, it's definitely drives a lot different than this for sure. But that was the first time I really got a taste of the air on the cars. I mean, in the K&N series, you're going to get a little bit maybe at Dover, but nothing like you will in these cars. Obviously, running on the radio tower as well, it's gonna handle differently. It's gonna give a different way. So, and running with these drivers too. I mean, it's a whole different ball game. A lot higher speeds. You don't know how they're gonna react, how they're gonna race you. So, kind of just getting used to the series, getting used to how everyone drives. I mean, obviously, both of these guys on each side of me have had experience in the series and kind of know how everyone handles each other. So, definitely still got a lot to learn. I mean, don't get me wrong, but that definitely helped me out a lot and prepared me a little bit, at least for this race. But like Spencer said, you can't prepare for something like Daytona. Anything could happen. You guys have all seen that. So, you just got to kind of prepare for any situation that's going to come about, and hopefully you can be ready for it when it does come.
Dwight Drum, racestake.com. For all three of you young guys up there, there's really kind of a youth movement coming up through NASCAR and different levels, and obviously in ARCA. What do you think of the young people coming in and doing as well as you are?
I detest them, their exuberance, and their horrible music. No, I'm kidding. I have had my coffee today, in case you're wondering. But no, in all sincerity, I've actually, historically speaking, maintained a theory that every 10, 20 years or so in NASCAR, it seems, you see something of what I call a great cycle. There's all of a sudden a lot of people that'll retire, a lot of people nearing retirement age, ending their careers, and a lot of new blood tends to come up all at once. And from what I've seen, looking at them, I think timing is about right too. I think we're beginning to enter into one of those great cycles. So I'm actually very excited to see what's going to happen in the coming years. I think it's really going to, help out the racing greatly. It's look at these guys, for God's sake. I mean, we see what they're doing in the short tracks. Imagine what he's going to be doing in a Cup car in a couple of years. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, I'm just excited to get the opportunity to do it. I mean, me and Chase are only 18. And to just be at Daytona at 18 years old, it's pretty crazy. I mean, to think that you grow up looking at it, you see these drivers race at a track like this. I mean, not too long ago, or I guess last year, I was on the back straightaway running, not even, a fraction of how big this track is. So, I saw Media Day last year. I was kind of on the outskirts a little bit. Luckily, being a part of the NASCAR Next, you got some opportunity to do some stuff. But for the most part, you're looking in and, seeing these guys that are the big names in NASCAR, get to talk to the media, get to get pumped up for the race at Daytona. And now that we're sitting here, actually get to qualify, and now that we're going to get to experience this race for the first time, it's surreal. And, you just can't thank everybody that helped you get up here enough to give you this opportunity to do it.
Yeah, pretty much everything Dylan and Spencer said too. Just to have the opportunity to be here, it means a lot to me. And just from watching these races in years past, and even coming down here last year and being on the outside looking in, just such a different feel being all a part of it this year. From the media side all the way to being on the racetrack, it's all just a really, really incredible feeling just to finally be a part of it. And fortunately for us to have Napa on board and make this all possible is, I feel like, going to be a really fun year. And to kick it off at Daytona is going to be great. So we're excited to get started tomorrow.